I mean, yeah, I can see where that happens. Florida's kind of sinking, so I mean, the whole state's kind of going underwater.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
There was an article in the paper last month, Sean Hammersmeyer wrote about, and the headline was, "What's happening with homeowners insurance rates in Nevada?" In the article, he talks a little bit about why they're going up, and he basically says that they went up 7.5% in 23 and 21% since 2018. And he quotes a guy named Scott Manath, who's the president, I guess, of the Nevada Independent Insurance Agents. This was written back in March. So, and he talks about here's what he says, the attributing factors to increased rates. One is rising inflation. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I just said, basically.
Yeah.
Supply issues in construction, I think that's kind of gone away a little bit, but maybe it's still there.
So on the larger builds, we're certainly still seeing it. Our standard track build homes, a lot of the KB homes, a lot of our standard builders out there, really aren't seeing too much of a delay in the majority of their products these days.
Yeah, I think the supply chain for most things has been cleaned up a little bit. Of course, then the Port of Baltimore gets shut down.
Yeah. Number one, what is it? Top 3 port in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, I used to drive on that bridge all the time. Oh yeah, the Key Bridge is that's like a mainstay. It's like it's like here going on the on the spaghetti bowl. It's a big deal.
So what did they say? They said it's a year.
Well, they're going to try to get the channel cleared in another month or so they get at least one ship through at a time.
Okay.
And then they'll have the whole channel cleared maybe in 6 months, maybe. That's what I think they're doing. But they'll hustle because we need the Port of Baltimore. We need that. There's also concerns about environmental risks like wildfires, and that's been an increase.
This big one is the big one that the majority of individuals are never familiar with, though.
Okay, reinsurance rates.
Yeah, so obviously insurance companies are always going to attempt to hedge their own markets as well, and they go to larger insurance companies like Zurich, Berkshire Hathaway, to go ahead and buy reinsurance in the market for these huge risks like wildfires out in California, mudslides, everything like that. And so unfortunately, the past 3 years have been huge cat loss years.
Yeah.
And so insurance companies have then had their reinsurance markets go up, which means that their overall expenditures go up, and those costs just have to continue to be passed down. Now, we're a year in to not too many cat losses.
Okay.
So, for the last 3 quarters, a couple insurance companies have actually been profitable.
Okay.
Which is the first time in 6 years that anyone can kind of say that.
Yeah.
So there is hope, but again, we're kind of one major loss away from what's that next market.
Yeah, and the way we talk about global, the effect of climate change, and that's really part of it too. Is that you got so many hurricanes, you got so many wildfires, you got all this stuff just tearing things up. Tornadoes now, we got tornadoes all over the place. I mean, I can see where that happens. Florida's kind of sinking, so I mean, the whole state's kind of going underwater. Okay, he also says in the article that overall Nevada homeowners insurance is in a quote-unquote hard market. So what's a hard market? Explain that to us.
So a hard market's going to be when there's less and less carriers that will actually go ahead and accept a risk. So as with all industries, right, the more competition there is better for consumers.
Right.
Less competition in the marketplace allows the few carriers that are choosing to stay to kind of really dictate where the market goes.